Hello everyone, it's been quite a while. I want to read something to you. My fellow Americans, a sudden commotion has come over the American people. Now, even those circles are beginning to stir, which until now have been deaf to the constant warnings that we have been trying to address to the mass of our people. Almost without interruption, for the past 3 years, of course. Many people still do not know why they are upset. They believe that perhaps it is only about so-called special privileges, or about the restriction of freedom of speech, or about the politicization of civil service, and so on. Certainly, all these are extremely serious matters. Today, however, it is about much more. It is about a huge process of the destruction of our people and our homeland. This is happening now before our very own eyes. All these things would be trifles in themselves if they did not represent characteristics of a process which has been taking place for many years and whose end will be a horrible one. We can all sense that now two worlds are colliding with each other, and not only here but everywhere we look. In the now oppressed Russia, China, North Korea, Mexico, etc., a relentless struggle between the ideals of national-minded and the nebulous drug peddlers and crime lords. It is a struggle that now goes back almost 250 years. It began when the socialists received the right of citizenship in these American states. The political emancipation of them was the beginning of all this madness. For with it, one gave full civic rights and equality to a people which were mentally much more clearly unstable than all others, which formed and always will form a state within a state. Perhaps not all at once, but it went just as it does today, and as it always has gone. First a little finger, then a second, and then a third, bit by bit, until at last a people which still in the 20th century appeared to be completely alien came to possess politically the same rights of citizenship as ourselves. And that's exactly how it went economically. From these liberals taking the power away from the people to indoctrinate the young and to conduct mass brainwashing upon the general public, to tell them it is okay to do these things and to hate yourself, to hate all others. It will only lead to the destruction of us and our people and nation. You'll have to forgive me for reading that. I didn't write it. I did, however, change a few words to match the times. That speech, its real title is Freedom and Slavery, and it was written by Adolf Hitler. If you agreed with anything I just said, then you may wish to take a step back. This is a warning that I, as an American, am giving to you now. Be warned and wary of those who preach hatred, of those who use children and fear tactics. If they use fear in their speech and make you afraid for things, they will be the quickest to take you away from your rights. Your liberties will be the quickest to fall, thinking that you're sacrificing them for security. These are difficult times that we live in right now, people. Very difficult. And I'm not talking about Democrat, Republican, liberal, woke, conservative, Christian, bullshit, whatever. I'm talking about the fact that we're seeing the death of our republic. Our Constitution's being walked all over. We have people in office that are just flat out ignoring courts. We have people that are just doing whatever the hell they want because they believe they have the right to. And yet we say it's necessary for the security of our children and futures. Those who sacrifice their liberties for security deserve neither. These coming years are difficult. Hell, the past 30 have been difficult. We were dragged into a war that we shouldn't have been in. Our national debt just keeps ballooning, and they just passed that dumbass bill that's tacking on another 10, 15 trillion onto the national debt, even though it's already at $38 trillion. More money than you and I and our great-great-grandkids will never even be able to pay off. People my age, people younger than me in their 20s, people in their teens are all realizing that the older generations are making things difficult for us and our future years. They keep saying that the future generations are going to have a good time because of the work we're doing today, but the reality is we don't even know what kind of reality we're walking into 20 years from now. Well, anyone that pays attention does know. It's going to be a time of struggle. There's going to be an economic collapse coming, whether you believe so or not. And it is on the horizon, and it's coming fast. If you need proof, just follow the stock market. It's been fluctuating an awful lot just since the beginning of this year. From highs, lows, but these are more extreme. The housing market has ballooned to such costs that people my age can't even afford to live on their own anymore. We have to roommate. We have to still live at home with our parents. We have to find any means necessary. People aren't going to college anymore just simply because they can't afford it, but also because they have to prioritize living. Several studies and several facts have proven that a person must work 2 and 3 jobs just to try and survive. And things ain't getting better. They're not. You can lie to yourself, you can lie to your friends all you want. All you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. People keep thinking of the here and now, but they're not thinking of the future. And the future has been robbed. I'm not going to stand for it. Constantly sitting on the sidelines and looking at how this nation's getting fucked over worse than a $2 whore on Saturday just makes me realize more and more my parents' generation and grandparents' generation, they don't care. And they haven't for a long time. The ones in charge, they give a shit less about you. They hate us blue-collar workers. They hate the kid that's flipping burgers at the McDonald's. They hate the one that's sweeping up a sidewalk somewhere at a rest stop. They hate the guy that's working the factory line on a 12, 15-hour shift. They hate the farmer out there in his fields. They want your money. They want their power. And because of some preconceived ideology that when a millionaire is magically given more money, they're going to just become generous and suddenly invest. That's never proven the case. From the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s to even here and now. The only thing that's ever done is just made them richer. That's why we have billionaires. And it's not through hard work and determination. They can give a fuck less about their workers. And yeah, I'm using a lot of profanity, but it's because I'm pissed off. You've let us down. The older generations have failed. And it's up to my generation and the generation after me to try and fix your mistakes. So you can celebrate, you can pat yourselves on the back and do whatever bullshit you want to. But just know that all the screw-ups you're doing now, we're going to undo. We're going to secure the rights and freedoms, liberties, and economic stability that this nation needs. Whether it takes another 10, 20, 30 years to do so, we'll undo everything you have done to fuck this nation. And if you're just as mad as I am right now, go out and do something. Run for office. Talk to people. Because it's only going to get worse if we stand by and do nothing. Thank you.